Hello everyone, welcome to this week's installment of Layman's View. This is where we review a week that was. You would expect that because now we are approaching festive season, everyone is looking forward to the holiday with the year-end fatigue. Things are slowing down. There won't be big stories, but not in South Africa. Things are happening in South Africa. South Africa is busy. You wouldn't say it's festive season. There's so much happening. Likewise, so much came out of this week. And let's look at some of the biggest stories that came out of this week. I'll just touch on the first two stories that I won't necessarily be focusing on, but I thought they were worth mentioning. One, Spaza shops. Many of us thought the deadline for Spaza shop registration is Friday the 13th of December. But the government has clarified that actually it's not Friday the 13th of December, it's Tuesday the 17th of December. That's the last day of registration of Spaza shops. And worth mentioning as well, this is just the registration. It doesn't mean that on the 18th of December, Spaza shops that were not registered or that were registered, they will all be approved. There's still an approval process that still needs to happen thereafter. So what is happening right now is just the registration. After the 17th of December, there's another process that still needs to happen that will determine which Spaza shops are registered and which Spaza shops will be rejected or will not be registered. So I thought that was quite interesting. In fact, that stood out for me when I was watching a press conference by Lebogang Mayile, MEC in Gauteng, where he was outlining the process of registration of Spaza shops in Gauteng. So yeah, Spaza shop registrations, it's not the 13th of December, which was this past Friday. It's actually next week, Tuesday, the 17th of December. Also, let's look at another story that stood out for me. Durban Metropolis Service new recruits. Durban has hired 567 new recruits of police officers. Kwasukukhuluma. Hayi kwasukukhuluma. Kuyakhulunywa eThekwini. Bayakhala abantu bathi lamaphoyisa esiqashelwe wona hayi ayayazi into ayenzayo. Bayaposta phela ku social media abantu abamanga beqala umsebenzi omusha bathi ba happy ukuthi baqala umsebenzi omusha. Abanye bayacomment ukuthi hayi bo nawe uyiphasile test yokuba iMetropolis uyiphase kanjani. Babone ngathi bebengaqualify noma bebengeke bayipass itest mhlawumbe indlela umuntu akhiwe ngayo angazi. Kodwa ke kuningi abantu abakhala ngakho ngokuthi khona laba abaqalile kaMetropolis ababone ngathi bekungafanele engabe baqashiwe. I don't know. Like I said, I don't want to focus too much on this story because some are accusing government saying, abantu abaqashiwe, they are aligned or linked to ANC members or they are cousins and uncles and friends of ANC powerful people. I don't know what you make of that, but those are some of the accusations that are happening on social media. I'd love to know your thoughts on what has been happening on social media with the new Durban Metropolis recruits. It's 567. They've been hired to beef up crime fighting efforts here in Durban. But so I would love to know your thoughts on that story. Those are the two stories that I thought I should just mention as parts of this week's installment of Layman's View here on podcast radio and stuff. Now, let's look at the three stories that I would like to focus on this week. So there are three stories that I would like to focus on this week, and they are all political. These are big stories that are happening this week or that happened this week or they are happening this weekend. One, EFF's National People's Assembly that is happening currently as we speak. It's a big event. I would also like us to look at the MK Party celebrating 1 year anniversary. As we know, MK Party has taken South Africa's political scene by storm. no one saw the MK party coming. So we'll be looking at them celebrating their 1-year anniversary. And lastly, the last story that I would like us to look at is the SACP's fifth special national congress to outline the path for 2026 elections. We know that the SACP has now decided to go on it alone, meaning this party that has been part of the tripartite alliance is saying, you know what, we will no longer be supporting the ANC. We will now ask you, the voter, to vote for us as SACP. That's what SACP is saying. So those are the three stories that I would like us to look at in this week's installment of Layman's View. So let's get started with the EFF's National People's Assembly. So a lot has been happening around that, but I would like to start here. I watched a speech by the Commander-in-Chief of the EFF, Julius Malema. That speech went on for over 3 hours, where he was outlining what is it that EFF leadership has been able to achieve over the past 5 years, and what is it that they have not been able to achieve. So he accounted for all the successes of the EFF as well as the failures. And when it comes to the failures, he blamed largely COVID-19, saying that was the reason why EFF couldn't achieve some of the things that it had set itself to achieve over the past 5 years. But at the beginning of his speech, I found that to be quite interesting, where he was talking about ideology. Talking about Marxism and what EFF stands for and the cardinal pillars of the EFF and why they started the EFF. I just felt like he was going back to the roots of the EFF and the reasons why EFF today exists. So quite interesting speech that was delivered by the Commander-in-Chief of the EFF. What I also found interesting from that speech by Julius Malema was the subtle attack on MK Party and former President Jacob Zuma. Because basically when it comes to MK Party and former President Jacob Zuma, what the Commander-in-Chief, Julius Malema, was saying there is, this man has been the president of the country for 9 years. Why did he not unify black people? He was talking about the EFF offering its percentages so we can expropriate land without compensation, talking about some of the programs that EFF tried to suggest to the ANC and ANC rejected those programs, saying the former president, well, not calling him by name, but saying those who were in power are corrupt, and now they are saying they are messiahs. They stand for black people. So Julius Malema took a lot of jabs, in my view, at MK Party and saying people shouldn't look at the MK Party as a party that is now all of a sudden here to save black people and to unify black people. Because his question was, the main question when it comes to that topic and discussion for me was, he was saying, why was former President Jacob Zuma unable to do this in the past 9 years? What is it that he was unable to do in the past 9 years that he'll be able to do now as an MK Party? So basically, he was just distancing himself from MK Party. I did not once hear him refer to the progressive alliance that has been formed in Parliament. I'm not sure. I might have missed that. The speech was very long, so I didn't hear. I couldn't listen to the entire speech, but I did not, at the parts that I was listening to, I did not hear him refer to the progressive alliance that has been formed and led by MK Party in Parliament. So I don't know what you make of that speech that happened on Friday by the Commander-in-Chief of the EFF, Julius Malema. Speaking of Julius Malema and the National People's Assembly, NPA, that is currently taking place, so to me, it looks like Julius Malema is set to come back as the president of the EFF. And rumors are that in the slate of Julius Malema, there is Godresh Gadi, who will be the deputy president of the EFF. There is Nondando Nolunchungu, who will be the chairperson of the EFF. She will be new in the leadership top 6 of the EFF. Then there's Umpile Mawondwe, who will emerge as the treasurer general of the EFF. Marshal Dlamini will keep his position as the secretary general of the EFF, according to the slate of Julius Malema, as well as Leanne Matthys, who is who's looked at as a possible deputy secretary general in the EFF. Currently, she's the spokesperson, but rumors are that the slate of Julius Malema wants Leanne to be the deputy secretary general in the EFF. Having mentioned everyone that I just mentioned now, there's a question that I have in my mind, and I suspect it's in your mind too. What about Mbuyiseni Ndlozi? That is a big question. We've seen the divisions in the EFF with Floyd Shibambu leaving EFF and people attacking Dr. Mbuyiseni Ndlozi. The question is, will Dr. Mbuyiseni Ndlozi ascend to the leadership of EFF? Will it be Dr. Mbuyiseni Ndlozi who will be the deputy president of the EFF? I saw someone saying the president should be Julius Malema and the deputy president should be Dr. Mbuyiseni Ndlozi. Or will Dr. Mbuyiseni Ndlozi be the president of the EFF? That is interesting. We are waiting to see what's going to happen with the EFF. A lot is happening. They are discussing policy issues, and we are looking forward to what will come out of those policy issues that are being discussed. But also, I think many of us are interested in the leadership of the EFF. What's going to happen with the leadership of the EFF? Is it Julius Malema or Dr. Mbuyiseni Ndlozi? Or both of them will be in the leadership of the EFF? Please go on to the comment section and share your thoughts and views around the EFF's National People's Assembly that is currently taking place. What are you expecting? What are you thinking? What are your thoughts? If maybe something has happened after I've recorded this video, please go into the comment section, share your thoughts and views. I would love to know those. Moving on from EFF's National People's Assembly, now let's look at the MK Party. So the MK Party this coming Sunday, tomorrow, is set to celebrate its first anniversary at Moses Mabhida Stadium. So we know that the EFF was announced on the 16th of December 2023. President Jacob Zuma announced, did I say the EFF? I meant the MK Party. If I said the EFF, I meant the MK Party. I beg your pardon. So the MK Party was announced on the 16th of December 2023. And President Zuma came out and said, I will be voting for the MK Party. At that time, he didn't say he started the party. He said, I will remain the member of the ANC, but I will be voting the MK Party. That was on the 16th of December 2023. Fast forward, elections, MK Party did exceptionally well, got almost 15% of the votes nationally. In KZN, got more than 45% of the vote, which is crazy, unheard of a new party. And like, I think the way that MK performed, it outperformed expectations of most political analysts, if not all. I don't think anyone saw that coming. So now MK Party is the third largest party in the country. It is the largest party in the province of KwaZulu-Natal. I think it's the second largest party in the province of Mpumalanga. So MK Party did very, very well. And this coming Sunday, MK Party is celebrating its first anniversary. Celebrations at Moses Mabhida Stadium will be going on the 15th of December. Will you be there? If you're someone from KZN, how do you feel about the MK Party? MK Party, I saw an interview earlier on the week. Floyd Shibambu, in fact, in the press conference, he said MK Party will be the government of KZN very soon. He said they are in talks with all political parties in KZN legislature, all of them. He said the only party that they are not in communication with is the DA. And he said MK Party will be the government of KZN. So people of KZN, if you ask me, in all honesty, forget politics. 45% majority of the people of KZN voted for the MK Party to be to be a leading party. Well, maybe not majority, but a largest number of people in KZN. Same way that people of South Africa, large number of people voted for the ANC to be a leading party. Hence, we have got President Ramaphosa. It is my view that it's only fair to allow the MK Party to lead KZN because a large number, the biggest chunk of people of KZN wanted the MK Party to be the party that is leading the province. It is only fair, in my view, to allow that to be. People get the government that they deserve. So, if that statement is true, therefore, people of KZN deserve MK Party, whether it will be a good government or it will be a bad government. But people of KZN deserve MK Party because large number, 45%, voted for the MK Party to be the leading party. I don't know who comes after that 45%. Nobody comes close to the MK Party. Not the IFP, not the ANC, not the DA that are currently in government. So I don't know what your thoughts are, but I think people of KZN deserve the MK Party. That who they voted for to be in power in KZN. Yes, it was not 50+1, but it was a large number of people. The normal language, I would say majority, but I know that in political terms, when you say majority, it has to be 50+1. So I would say the largest number of people of KZN wanted the MK Party to be the government. So we'll wait and see. Happy 1-year anniversary to the MK Party. We wish you well. We'll wait and see, what will come out. What will come out of that celebration of the MK Party of the 1-year anniversary. I was listening to an interview with Ntobeko Khuluse with Aldrin Sampier, and Aldrin asked Ntobeko if there will be new members that will be announced in the MK Party 1-year anniversary, and Ntobeko Khuluse said, "Watch this space." MK Party always has a trick up its sleeves. So we'll wait and see what will be coming out of the MK Party's first anniversary. Are you expecting any big names to be unveiled as members of the MK Party? What are you expecting? What are your thoughts on MK Party and what they've been able to achieve over the past 1 year as they celebrate their first anniversary of existence? So that was the second story that I wanted to focus on. Please go into the comment section. Please share your thoughts and views on what the MK Party has been able to achieve. And the last story that I want to look at is the SACP's fifth National Congress to outline the path to 2026 elections. So we all know that SACP has been very unhappy in the form of Solly Mapaile. Solly Mapaile has been spitting fire, calling the ANC, saying ANC has sold out, calling them out, saying they've sold out to be working with the DA, saying in their view, the ANC should be working with the EFF. That's what they suggested, but they were not listened to. The ANC is not listening. The Tripartite Alliance is just not working. It has not been reconfigured, and a whole lot of other things that have been coming out of the SACP. So with that, the SACP has decided to go at it alone, meaning the SACP will now contest elections. Mangabe kuzu 2026 SACP izobe nayo ikwi-ballot box ifuna ukuvotelwa kuma-local government elections, izobe compete with the ANC. I don't know what that means. Is that another splinter from the ANC? Because what the SACP is saying is that they will remain as part of the alliance, but they will contest elections. We know that in the past, the SACP has been campaigning for the ANC, has been asking its members to vote for the ANC. So the SACP is not happy with that. The conference that is currently taking place is now outlining how that will happen, how the SACP will campaign for elections, and how the SACP, how the voting process, will they use the name SACP and the logo, or will they have to have another name and another logo, the logistics of it. So, but the decision for the SACP to be voted for and to campaign for elections, that has been taken, and it seems like there's no going back. Is the Tripartite Alliance imploding? Who will SACP vote for? Will SACP vote for the ANC or SACP? And with the ministers of the SACP, or rather who are SACP members but are also ANC members, and they are currently serving in the government cabinet of Cyril Ramaphosa, the likes of she's the SACP national chairperson, Blade Nzimande, who's also the minister, Dr. Blade Nzimande, he's also the minister of science, technology and innovation. What will happen with him? When he campaigns, he will campaign for people not to vote for the ANC that he is the minister of, but say vote for the SACP. And I saw him speaking and defending the decision of the SACP. We've got the likes of Second Deputy General Secretary David Masondo, who's the Deputy Finance Minister. Butima Namela and Polly Bushielo, those are deputy ministers in the cabinet of Cyril Ramaphosa. What will happen with them? What will happen with them? Is this the end of the Tripartite Alliance? Or they will find another way of working with each other, meaning, they will campaign differently or separately, and then after the elections, they combine their votes. I don't know. But it's quite interesting, and I think interesting times lie ahead, because in my view, the ANC won't be happy with this, and it will negatively impact the ANC, because we've seen a lot of political parties leaving the ANC, looking at COPE. A lot of people left the ANC when there was COPE. Looking at the EFF, a lot of people, especially young people, left the ANC to join EFF. And then there was MK Party. A lot of people left the ANC and are still leaving the ANC to join the MK Party. Others are in the ANC, but while working for the MK Party. So they are sleepers within the ANC, working for the MK Party. So will the ANC survive another splinter, another split, if SACP decides to say, you know what, we don't want anything to do with the ANC, we are done with the ANC? What impact will that have to the ANC? I would love to know your thoughts. It's quite interesting. So we'll wait to see what happens, how the ANC will respond to that. But what do you think? More importantly, what are your thoughts on all the stories that we discussed in this week's Layman's View? Please go into the comment section, share your thoughts and views. Tell me what your thoughts are. I would love to read your thoughts. I always enjoy reading your thoughts because they come with so much wisdom, and we appreciate your thoughts and views. We appreciate you for watching this week's installment of Layman's View. Let's catch up tomorrow at 9 a.m. We've got another episode that will be dropping at 9 a.m. with Ntobeko Khuluse, who is my partner in crime. So please make sure that you join that hot episode. You do not want to miss it. This has been Podcast Radio and Stuff. It's been Layman's View on Podcast Radio and Stuff. And I'm Ntobeko Khuluse. We'll see you tomorrow at 9 o'clock. Please have a great weekend. Until next time.